Welcome to Not Your Average Neighbor, the podcast celebrating inspiring individuals and the amazing work they do in our community. I'm Ann Roshar, your host, inviting you to join me as we shine a light on stories of resilience, connection, and good news. Let's build a neighborhood that uplifts and inspires, one story at a time. Hey neighbors! Not Your Average Neighbor, hostess with the mostest, Ann Roshar here. And today, my very, very, very special guest is a TikTok personality, let's say. If you may have seen her talking about her amazing experience at the Maccabees Deli a few years ago. Her name is Sarah Booz. It's not Booz, it's Booz. And she was born and raised in New York, where she spent the first 30 years of her life before taking off in an RV for 3 years and eventually relocating to Des Moines, Iowa. Say what? And she, like I said, made a TikTok about Maccabees Deli and went viral. And her life has been bizarre ever since. Fun facts, her first pet was a 16-foot python, and she can ride a unicycle. Okay, no thank you on the snake. I'm sorry. I'm sure you loved your snake very much, but please help me welcome Sarah Booz.
Yay. Hi.
So happy. I was like, you probably get a lot of messages, and I've been following you since your infamous deli TikTok, which made me want to go there right away. And now, of course, I still haven't been there. I only get to Des Moines for work things, so I go and then I leave, and I can't do that. I have to next time I go. And where is Maccabees Deli?
Maccabees Deli is on Polk and University. It's right behind the Waveland Cafe. So most people know the Waveland Cafe and don't realize that tucked behind it is Iowa's only kosher deli.
And how did you stumble upon it?
So I was doing a series of TikToks about growing up in New York and how different life is now than it was then. And someone was like, well, where in New York do you live now? And I was like, Des Moines, Iowa. And the Register saw that and they reached out to me and said, hey, can you do a newsletter for us as a transplant about things you like to do in Des Moines, especially as someone who came from New York City. So I was like, yeah, absolutely. And I did that. And then I got a DM from Maccabees Deli, just being like, hey, just so you know, there's a kosher deli owned by New Yorkers in Des Moines. And I sort of forgot about it for a while. And then randomly one day, my fiance and I were like, oh, let's go get some food. And I was like, oh, there's a kosher deli. Let's go check it out. And went and had this just very funny experience because the rabbi immediately was like, you're not from here. Also, and I was like, I'm Jewish, not enough for you to care about it. But yes, I'm from New York. We talked about New York. We talked about all this other stuff. And then I made the video because it was such a funny experience, and it just blew up.
It literally blew up.
Yeah. And it turned out that the rabbi and his wife did not know that their son, who runs their social media, had reached out to me. So they just thought it was all random. And it was the way it all happened was a little bit random, but I was made aware of it by them. And then I was lucky enough to be able to make a bunch of other people aware of them.
Yes.
Make things crazy for them for a little while, but I think it's all mellowed out by now.
Oh my gosh. I love this so much. My mind's blown that you just commented and then they reached out and said, hey, write a newsletter or a blog or whatever. And that is awesome. So like I said, in 2020, I got on TikTok, probably like a lot of people for the first kind of time. And I saw that video of yours. And then I want to say in 2021, I'd been following you that whole time and really enjoy just your insight from being from New York into all of the amazing offerings that the Des Moines area has, and you really taking the time to find all of those out and sharing those with us. So I think in 2021 was our
no, I'm a real 2023. It was 2023.
Oh my gosh, was it 2023?
I made the video in 2023, and then I was at IAR that October. November, whenever October. October is when IAR is.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you. So 2023, because I knew yeah, okay. That math's better than my brain, what my brain was thinking. So 2023, you made that video. I immediately was drawn to you. And then I go to the Iowa Realtors convention, which is in Des Moines, and I see this curly haired, fun glass girl. And I'm like, that's
I
my
know
TikTok
you.
hero, Sarah Booz. So I came up and I said, can you take your picture with me? And you're probably like, weirdo.
Not at all. I'd gotten used to it at that point, but my coworkers were very confused because they were unaware of this part of my life. And they were like, what's happening right now? They're like, people keep pointing at you. And I was like, I went to a deli and I've been on the news a bunch of times locally. Yeah, this is pretty normal. And they're like, I'm sorry, what? And I was like, yeah, you gotta use that for work. And I was like, nope, those two things are separate unless you're paying me. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, I just knew right from the start that we would be friends, even though I was like, oh my God, it's Sarah. And of course, I called you Sarah Booz for a long time, but it is Bose. And
It's
you did a TikTok about that. I feel like last summer, just to make sure,
I
or
do it
earlier.
periodically just to remind people because
Yeah.
in everyone's defense, it is BOOZ. It is a double O. I have a general vibe about me. I was a bartender for a long time. Like it's not totally out of pocket for people to be like, booze.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
So, for those who are not familiar, let's talk about your RV journey and how you landed in Iowa. If you're not so bored talking about that, I mean,
No, not at all.
okay.
So I met my now fiance. He obviously wasn't that then. We met in 2011 and almost immediately started joking about getting an RV. I don't even remember how it came up in conversation, but we're gonna get an RV. We should get an RV. We should explore the country. We should do this stuff. And my grandfather happened to have left some money behind, which gave us the opportunity to purchase an RV. So we did it. And what was really funny was all of our friends in New York were like, what are you doing? We're like, the thing we've been talking about for like 2 years. And they were like, we didn't think you were going to do it. We were like, well, why would we talk about it so much if we weren't going to do it? What are you talking about? So our original plan, he's a full-time artist, was to get from New York to California to do a convention for the type of art he does. And just make connections along the way. And we were going to be gone for 6 months. We put in notice at all of our jobs. I, at the time, was working 4 jobs. He was working a bartending gig in the city. And so we just told everyone we'll be back in 6 months. And we went and we met these people and we're making all these connections and got to the convention. And it was so good that we were like, well, let's extend it a little bit further. Like, we don't want to drive back in winter. So like,
Right.
we'll stay in California with family for the winter, and then we'll see what's up. And as soon as the winter was over, we had our apartment in Brooklyn, and our roommates all were moving out at the same time, and we could not figure out a way to refill that apartment, deal with it remotely anymore with people we didn't know or trust. So we gave up our lease, and we're like, okay, I guess we are fully nomads now. And we just kept doing it. We did it for 3 years straight, and we really fell in love with the Midwest. Like, South Dakota became my favorite state, which I was not expecting.
Wow.
South Dakota's very fun. It's just tourist attractions and nonsense, and it's beautiful and weird, and I really enjoy it. Just really enjoy it. But so we ended up moving back to upstate New York, and lived there for 3 years when the pandemic hit. And our rent was about to skyrocket. There was zero question. Everyone from the city was moving up to where we were because we were right at the end of the commuter rail. And so we started looking around again, and we knew that we liked Ohio. We had friends in Ohio. There's an art scene there that we were into. And we were like, okay, let's look at Columbus, Ohio. And the internet was like, have you considered Des Moines, Iowa? And we were like, I've never even been to Des Moines, Iowa. That's a really weird suggestion, the internet. And then we were doing research online. We were watching YouTube videos and like all those listicles that are like, where's like the best place for young professionals to move? And everywhere was like, you want high quality of life and low cost of living? Go to Des Moines, Iowa. And we were like, what? They are really pushing Des Moines, Iowa. And then we discovered a really good friend of ours lived here. He moved here during the pandemic because his girlfriend's from here. And we were like, okay, well, that's another like egg in that basket of like, okay, maybe Des Moines, Iowa. And then finally we were like, okay, we need high quality of life, low cost of living, and an interest in the arts. And the internet was like, okay, fine, you have 2 choices. You can move to Fayetteville, Arkansas, or Des Moines, Iowa. And we were like, we're not moving to Arkansas. Like, in no way are we built for Arkansas. So we moved to Des Moines, November 2021, completely sight unseen. We had not set foot in Des Moines. We'd been to Iowa very briefly, but we had never been to Des Moines before the day we moved here.
Wow. Wow, that is a crazy journey. And a lot of people get Ohio and Iowa messed up. So it was honestly like the internet
It's
was
true.
really like, you meant Iowa.
Yeah.
You meant Iowa, actually.
I
Yeah, but
still have like friends in New York who are like, "How's Boise?" I'm like, "Still not. Nope, that's the potato one. I live in the corn one. Just try again. It's not. I don't live there. Try again."
that is fantastic. And so you landed in Des Moines, and it is a vibe. It's a scene.
It is.
We've got a lot of good things happening. It may have taken a little bit longer than
Sure.
everyone else, but I love that we have access to that. It's only 2 hours from me here, and
Yep.
it feels so long driving on Highway 30 from Cedar Rapids to Des Moines that I'm like, I hate this drive. If I could just blink and be there, I'd be there
Yeah.
all the time. I
Public transportation would be a beautiful thing. Like, oh my God, imagine if we had a train. Wouldn't that be
exactly.
something?
Oh my God, that would be magical. Yeah, well, I digress. So, so let's talk a little bit about just your TikTok journey. What's the wildest thing that you have been asked to do or participate in, or something that you thought was so little, you're like, oh, this is gonna get no views. Besides the deli one that like blew up, are there any of those special times?
I am not. I got invited to go to Adventureland for their spooky times last year, and I've never been a haunted house person. I am spooked very, very easily, like to the point where I had a job from the ages of 19 to 25 in an office where it was an ongoing thing where people would hide behind doors just to be like,
Oh,
ah, and I would scream like I was being murdered, and everyone thought it was very, very funny. So
yeah.
yeah, I am very spooky, but I ended up having such a good time. Like genuinely, I was super super surprised by that. And then the coolest thing that I've gotten to do now twice is I've gotten to go try the state fair food early. I've gotten to vote on the top 3 new state fair foods 2 years in a row. And that is very cool and very chaotic. And people keep asking like, how do you get that? It was like I get asked and then
Yeah.
I don't know how they make their decisions, but I get to go. I've gotten to go.
Oh my gosh. And that, like I said, that's a bucket list item to be a part of that judging crew because listen, your vote, your vote actually matters there.
True.
And
Uh,
so last year your top 3 were what?
Last year, my top 3 were the lobster corn dog was like top, 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 top. It was so good. The bacon cheeseburger egg roll that ended up winning best new fair food last year was up there. And weirdly, as someone who has talked basically their whole life about how they hate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, which I know is weird, but this is who I am. Uh, the Bird's Nest does a deep fried uncrustable where they coat it in like donut batter and then deep fry
Oh,
the whole thing and cover it in powdered sugar. And it is incredible. Like those were my top 3 last year. And I was as shocked as anyone that I was very into a deep fried peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a deep fried frozen peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. That sounds amazing.
It-
I heard a lot about the lobster corn
yeah.
dog
Lobster corn dog.
and
And it's
a lot
gluten
about,
free, which is fascinating.
say that again.
The lobster corn dog's gluten free.
Oh,
So it's this like
awesome.
light, crispy, airy, like potato starch batter, I'm assuming. Uh so good.
And the bacon cheeseburger egg roll.
Yeah, that's what won best new fair food last year, and it was really, really good. Like, you can't go wrong with a deep fried anything
Bacon.
good.
Exactly. Exactly.
Bacon, cheese,
And
meat.
then, so this year, are you allowed to say what the winners are? I don't
Oh, yeah,
remember.
it's been announced. So
Okay.
the top 3 as decided by the group there was, the oh shoot, what is it? It's the Scotcheroo milkshake, the or the chicken bacon ranch egg roll, which is by the same people who did the bacon cheeseburger egg roll, and it was delightful as well. And then what you smoking? They made something called the Three Little Pigs, which is 3 ham balls in state fair flavors. One is corn dog, so that one's covered in mustard and cornbread crumbles, and it was great if you like ham balls. And then there's one that is cherry cola flavored, I want to say. It's got like a cola glaze and maraschino cherries. And that one, I found it it just tasted like a ham ball, like maybe a little slightly sweeter than a regular ham ball.
Yeah.
And then the final one is funnel cake flavored.
Oh.
It's funnel cake flavored. It is coated in a concerning amount of powdered sugar. And you can try that at the state fair.
Yes, and the state fair kicks off this weekend, right?
It kicks off Thursday.
Thursday, so that's tomorrow. Holy moly!
Tomorrow,
and then it goes until the 17th. I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
17th. It's 11 days, and it is.
Are you going every day, or
I'm not going every day? I will be there at least 4 days that I can think of right now.
Yeah, yeah.
They're already planned and like have tickets purchased and stuff. But likely.
Are you doing any concerts while you're there?
I'm not doing any concerts. I will do what I did for Ludacris and stand by the 27-degree beer tent for T-Pain.
Yeah.
I will listen to T-Pain.
Yeah.
I am not spending very much money to go see T-Pain. I think he's going to be great. I imagine the vibes in there are going to be immaculate. I am not spending that money. I spend my money on eating food. That is my main goal at the fair. And the big slide. Food and big
the big slide.
That's the.
Do you do the food and then the big slide, or slide and food?
Back and forth. It's there's a lot of eating, drinking. Like we try to spread things out, and we go with a relatively large group, so everyone gets to try stuff. So we just like power through the fair, stopping everywhere and like cutting things into pieces and trying them.
Oh gosh, that sounds awesome!
It's a really good time.
And were you ever a big fair person before the Iowa State Fair?
Have an opportunity to be. I mean, when I grew up, we had, street fairs, which are much smaller, day-long things. I went to a county fair in New York in my like mid-20s, which was very sort of silly, but I did get to see monkeys racing on dogs. That was kind of fun.
Core memory for sure.
Yeah, it's my picture on Lyft, and so periodically my Lyft drivers will be like, you holding a monkey? And I'm like, yes, I'm holding a monkey in that photo. I'm very excited about it. So we did, I did that. And then when we were on the road, we went to the big Fresno fair, which was like a very big fair with like photo booths and a bunch of other stuff. But it was always something I was really interested in and something we wanted to try and do more when we were on the road. And so moving to Des Moines and being so close to it, and it happens to fall on my birthday as well. So it has become like a yearly tradition where like my birthday, we are at the fair. And it is.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. When is your birthday?
August 11th.
Oh, well, happy early birthday.
Thank you much.
Speaking of going back a little bit to concerts, I saw your Hinterland review, and you saw Tyler, the Creator. It looks like that was spectacular. I've never been, but I feel like, come on, like get with it. You got to go at least once. So what are your tips and tricks for newbies who would be planning to go next year?
Well, definitely it's so hard because like there's the weather this year was so good. So I didn't get any of the like typical problems that people talk about with hinterlands. Like I know in previous years there were like water shortages and heat stroke and like all these things that I did not have to deal with at all because I got there at 7:30 p.m. and then left by the whole thing, but the show was over at 11, so it was like nice out.
Oh, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely peculiar how nice the weather was
Yeah,
here.
no, it was like, and last year was a similar thing. The state fair was much cooler than usual. Like I think the first couple days of the fair, I was wearing jeans, which has never happened before.
Right.
Um, yeah, I think go. The main thing I learned is do a full loop before you choose your food because we just hit the first wall of food and we were hungry. So we went and we grabbed something and the food we had was terrible. And I do not blame Hinterlands for that. I blame festival culture in general. Like it's just become a thing where you are spending too much money for garbage food. Uh,
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's become the norm. And so everyone leans into it as an okay and is okay with it. But we discovered had we gone like 50 feet further, there was a whole row of like more local food vendors that we
Oh, yeah.
know and would have trusted. Like we just went with like something, I don't even remember. Mine was called like fun tacos or something. And the tacos were not fun. They were like anti-fun. They were very bad. Very bad. And my fiance grabbed a burger that looked very much like something that would be on a cafeteria lunch plate, and it was $14 with no sides, just butter and cheese. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, so definitely like scope out your food options before doing anything else. Other than that, I mean, I know a lot of seasoned people who do it. Camping is apparently the way to go because you get to go in a day earlier. It's a lot quieter. You get to leave a day later, so everything is a lot more organized. My age starts with a 4 now. I'm not camping. I'm sorry. It's not. I'm not doing it.
on the ground,
Yeah.
hell to the no.
I do have friends who rent an RV, and, like, as someone who lived in I would do that. I would, like, "Oh, I have a kitchen and a bathroom," like, "Yeah, I'll be fine." But, yeah,
Yes.
in a tent, not a
Uh-uh.
chance. Not
Not a chance.
in the
No.
world. Yeah, I heard people were like, "Take the shuttle bus," but apparently the shuttle buses were just as bad, like, people were waiting until 3 in the morning to get on the shuttle bus, so I think it is a large venue off of a like, two-lane county road. I think
Right.
it's just gotta be that unless they start opening other ends, like, if they could put people out on 2 exits or even just have some sort of organization in the parking lot because that was the problem is in the parking lot, everyone was trying to get into the same 2 lanes that all went into one, but no one was organizing it. No one was, like, in charge of
Oh.
making sure that worked right until you
Oh.
got, like, much closer to the road, so it was just standstill traffic. That was the main problem. All of that being said, the grounds were lovely, the concert was so good, and, like, the setup and everything was great. Um, all of that was super, super rad, but the chaos at exit was not ideal.
This is an Iowan asking. Is Hinterland a town or just the name of the festival?
That's just the name of the festival. The town is St. Charles. Uh,
St. Charles?
St. Charles, Iowa, yeah.
Okay. And
Uh,
you said it's about 30 minutes from where you live?
it's about 30 minutes south of Des Moines.
Well,
It's not
south
far.
of Des Moines.
Yep. Yeah, just down the 30,
Wow.
and it's
Wow.
literally, like, spitting distance from the highway. I mean, it's a great location, it's just there's some organizational stuff that they could work on.
Yeah. Yeah. And it keeps getting bigger and better every year as far as the talent. So they really need to figure that out.
Well, they've worked it out so well that they do it just about the same weekend as Lollapalooza. So you
Yeah.
have a lot of crossover where they're just flying people or, however that works, getting people from Lolla to
Right.
here. So, like, Tyler headlined Thursday at Lollapalooza and then was here Friday.
Yeah. And
And
how do they, I wonder how they get the entertainers in, like, without being part of the traffic jam. I don't know.
No, I know
Uh,
we genuinely were wondering the same thing. But I will say, if he got in like right before his show, we got in with no problem. Like there was none traffic getting in, and
right.
I think there's like a VIP area. Like they probably go down to some other exit where they don't have to deal with that stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's secret things happening.
Right, right, right. And I have a feeling that you'll be on the VIP list very soon. And yeah. So what one thing I love about TikTok is that I feel like I found people that I would never meet in real
Yeah.
life if it weren't for TikTok. And so I believe, and maybe I'm making this up, but I believe that you and another one of my favorite TikTokers, Liz from Iowa, are very close, and you met through TikTok. Is
We
that
did.
correct?
We met, I was following her on TikTok, and then we both got invited to the same fundraising event, actually at Hawk Restaurant, who's doing my favorite new fair food. Um, and we met and like immediately clicked. And within 5 months, we're like hanging out, going to lunches, like doing stuff, being like, we are buds. Uh,
Yeah.
we live near each other. It was great.
And now you do a podcast.
We do. Yeah, we do a podcast called Iowa We Can Do Better because we do think Iowa can do better. And I know, like, even when we moved here in 2021, things were not as dire as they are now. Things were not as like crazy. Like I knew we had a Republican governor, but it was not as like as we've gotten over the last couple of years. So, you know, I or Liz and I really try to use our respective platforms to show people that like it doesn't need to be all doom and gloom. Like vote in small elections, do what you can, volunteer, do all this stuff. And my platform is interesting because Liz's platform is very political, and so
Yes.
she gets she gets blocked by people and yelled at by people on the right all the time. And
Yeah.
I primarily do stuff about food and experiences, and randomly I'm like, by the way, the government
Do better.
fixed it. And so I have followers who are totally caught off guard by it because they're like, wait, I came here for sandwiches. What? So I have like a nice thing where I get to like sort of sneak that stuff in on the side and then do the podcast, which has been great.
Right. Right. Well, I love that so much. You guys were meant to be friends for sure. And it's just, you know, like I said, everyone says social media is so terrible, but actually it's not. I learn a lot from TikTok.
Yeah.
I find my community on TikTok, and then I get to talk and interview them and, you know, say hi to them in Des Moines randomly. And it's just great. So I wanted to talk about I like to do a segment called Shout Out to a Neighbor. And I would love for you to shout out a neighbor that's doing cool things that may not be getting a lot of as much, you know, hype up throughout Iowa. And like, let's share what they're doing and hype them up right now.
Yeah. So my friend Amber does a monthly LGBTQ community dinner. It is at St. John's Lutheran Church in Des Moines. It is on the fourth Thursday of the month, and it is always advertised as potluck, community, and games. And it has been great. It's been getting bigger every month, and it's just in the face of everything going on right now, it is really nice for people to have a space where they feel safe, where they feel welcome, and everyone is welcome. It's for, you know, it's for queer folks, it's for allies, it's for anyone who wants to build community. Uh,
Mhm.
and it's just, yeah, in our current climate, I think it's a really cool thing to be doing.
And I think that we really need to be doing those things more is just reminding people that you aren't alone. You do have people who care about you, and let's like celebrate that and be friends and not hide it because now more than ever we need to use our voices to be sharing good news, good friends, good people, all of the things that really do make us human.
And
So that is
especially
awesome.
as silly as it sounds, but using my platform as a middle-aged white woman, like, let's get it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, and I need all the tips and tricks. And you know what? I don't think you have tips and maybe you do, but you are you authentically on TikTok and you just do it so effortlessly. Like I get in my head, I like to make stupid videos that I think are hilarious and then they go. And then I made one about Karen Reed and her, I don't know if you followed that. It was a murder. She
yeah,
was
yeah,
on
it's in Boston, right?
yeah. And I made a TikTok about finding some of her tail light in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and it got 35,000 views.
The thing that someone asked me about that Liz and I did a talk at
Yes.
like a
The
young
restaurant.
Yeah, it was like the young Democratic meetup, essentially. It's this group called New Century Forum, who's just doing what a lot of the other groups have done, been like, "Hey, are you like 45-ish and younger? Like, let's get out and vote, hang out, look, cool things are happening, meet people. It'll be
Yes.
great." So we were giving a talk on one of that, and we had a Q&A at the end, and someone was like, "How do you go viral on TikTok?" And I was like, "Oh, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's a lot of like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks, but it's also, I have never once, like, when I've tried to make a video, when I'm like, this is gonna do great, and I've like written a script and done all this stuff, people are like, that does not come across as authentic, and I do not care for it. I'm like, oh my God, I was trying.
I know. And they're like, stop trying.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I will just yap at screen. Like, done. And that works for whatever reason. So
Yes, it does. You do it brilliantly. And again, I want to know more about this foodie journey. Were your parents, was your family like foodies, or is it, yeah, just
oh,
because New York has so much more opportunity to try different foods and all of that
well,
too, I'm sure.
weirdly, my parents were not super adventurous in that way. But my mother collected cookbooks, loved them, read about food, like just loved food. It was a whole thing. I have a whole collection of her cookbooks, and she subscribed to every food related magazine, would cut recipes out to try, and I have a very funny binder of them where you can see notes from when we were trying them, and there's somewhere it's my like teenage handwriting being like, disgusting, never again. It's really funny. And other ones were like, yes, this is great. And yeah, so she was always very into food. I have lived with chefs. I have good friends who are chefs. I have always been interested in cooking. And when we got on the road, it was the first time, because we lived in Brooklyn, we weren't cooking at home very, very much. And suddenly we were like, oh, we were on the road, we were in the middle of nowhere. I was cooking all of our meals because it was like we were poor, we were living in an RV, we had a fridge and an oven and a stove, and it like definitely opened up a lot of new opportunities. I've always been a big eater.
But you're just little.
Like, thank God for metabolism. It is slowing, but I am still very, very lucky. And I never forget that I am very lucky to have very fast metabolism because yeah, no, legitimately, I posted the video about trying all the state fair food, and my friend Shai, who was a professional chef for many years, just wrote a comment. He was like, "How are you alive?" And I was like, "I genuinely do not know." No, I do not know because yeah, I am as shocked as the rest of you that this is going well, and my heart has not exploded. Um, but yeah, I've always loved talking about food. I did a whole blog when we lived on the road, and there's a bunch of food stuff in there just from like places we tried. Um, yeah, I don't know, food is great, and there's something so nice about like sharing a meal with people, and that it goes back to community, everything else. It's I love hosting a party. I love feeding folks. Like we joke, now I have the snack house. Like if people, we go out and everyone's like, I'm a little
Yeah.
bit hungry. They're like, Sarah, can we go to your house? I'm like, yep, come on over. I can throw together a charcuterie board basically anytime, being like, yep, here you go.
Perfect.
Done.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. And unfortunately, Iowa's not expanded its repertoire in grocery stores. So uh, it is probably a little bit more challenging, but Des Moines probably has more to offer.
We have Des Moines. We have. I mean, like I have a Asian food store right around the corner from me, so my pantry is lovely. Um, and there's a couple of like really specific specialty stores. I know we have an African market, we have an Indian market, we have a lot of that, and then we have Sea Fresh, which is a giant Asian supermarket with a
Oh,
fish counter and a meat counter and a Vietnamese restaurant hiding in the back.
wow. That
Uh,
sounds amazing.
it is. It's very, very cool. And so I mean, Des Moines, because of Robert D. Ray, has such a large Southeast Asian population that
Right.
you need those resources, or else these people are not going to. I mean, they're going to eat, but they're not going to be happy about it.
Right. Right. And yeah, we have a large Haitian
Oh, yeah.
population here. And so we do. Um, there are a few African markets.
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes it feel like home, but I'm glad that we have them. I'm glad that they've seen that as an opportunity to create
Yeah.
for their community, our community here. So let's think one more kind of random question. Well, not random, but New York, Iowa. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's so many things that you miss from the New York area, but what is one thing besides the deli again that you have been like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that Iowa has this because I missed it in New York or so.
Oh,
Is there anything like that?
yeah, it's Nona's Pizzeria up in Ankeny.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a New York City pizza place owned by New York City dudes. We went in there. Someone recommended it to me around the same time that all of the deli stuff was popping off. Someone was like, "Oh, there's a pizza place up. Like it's a New York pizza place," and we went up and tried the pizza and got garlic knots and got a beef patty, which is like such a specific New York City pizza place staple. It's a Jamaican beef patty. It is yellow. It is filled with what looks like dog food. It's spectacular. Um, we got that and we ate and we were like, oh my God, this is like being home. This is great. You order at the counter, like everything is correct. And we saw one of the owners walk out and I was like, hey man, where are you from? And he was like, oh, the Bronx. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm from Manhattan. He goes, oh, I grew up in Manhattan. I was like, oh, where'd you grow up? And he gave me his cross streets, which were very close to my cross streets. And I was like, what elementary school did you go to? There's only two options. And we went to the same elementary school in New York City.
Oh my God. And you're both in Iowa now.
And we're both in Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah, and he owns this spectacular pizza place called Nona's Pizza and Pasta. It is like North Ankeny. Like it is up there, but it is absolutely worth a visit.
Okay. Adding that to the list. Nona's Pizza in Ankeny. Garlic knots. A good friend of mine, we went, well, a bunch of us went a few years ago to Vegas, and there was this place in Vegas called Ellis Island.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they have
Ellis Island.
I love Ellis Island so much, and they have the best freaking garlic knots we've ever had. And so I'm like real, like I was just putting out, where can I get garlic knots, good ones,
Nona's Pizza,
because I can't go to Vegas, so maybe Nona's.
People don't ever know about Ellis Island. I love Ellis Island. It's got cheap beer. It has a karaoke room.
Yep.
It's super weird. But there's also in Vegas at the top of the Cosmopolitan, there is a hidden pizza place that has proper New York pizza as well. It is shockingly expensive, but it's not. It's like $6 a slice or something, but it's really good.
That is funny. We just went a while back, New York, that we just went to that pizza place because it was like, there it is. And it was so good. But all right, Cosmopolitan has a secret one. And Ellis Island, best place to go and just get to be yourself and not spend an arm and a leg on.
No, not at all. Oh man. And they make their own beer. It's a brewery as well. I really like it.
Yes. Shout out Ellis Island. Well, cool. Well, is there any events or anything that you want to promote that you have coming up before we say goodbye? I know, like I said, we said you have your podcast. So are you relaunching that next season? Is that coming soon?
It is. So we just started the new season. We've got 2 episodes out now. We are currently looking at changing our recording setup, but we will be starting up again in the next couple weeks and starting to bring on guests. We have some very cool guests sort of lined up, ranging from, like local community leaders to politicians to folks running in the primaries. We have a bunch of people lined up. So
she does an amazing job, and she's been hopping around to all these towns, and that's awesome. So how do we find that podcast?
It is called Iowa We Can Do Better, and it is everywhere where you get podcasts. So it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple,
all the things. Well, again, it's just been a delight. Thank you so much. You made my day by saying yes, and then by saying I can do tomorrow morning, and I'm like, boo, I'm ready. And I will be sad not to see you. It's actually at the end of September this year. But I appreciate it. And thank you so much. So Neighbors, don't forget to like, follow, share. How do they find you on TikTok, Sarah?
I am Sarah Booz on all platforms. So anywhere,
All
the
platforms.
name that is written down there, just anywhere you need me, Sarah Booz.
Sarah Bowes on the TikToks, on the Instagrams, on the Facebooks, all of the things.
Everywhere.
And you won't regret it, especially if you're a foodie, especially if you love community, especially if you love to learn about cool new spots. What's the one that you go to every month? It's like a artist
Oh, First Friday at Mainframe.
First
So,
Friday.
yeah, Mainframe Studios is one of the other reasons we ended up moving here. It is the largest nonprofit art studio building in the whole country, and it is in downtown Des Moines. And it has 181 studios, over 200 working creatives, and every first Friday of the month they open up their studios so people can walk through.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I have to check out that too. I got to check out I need to have a tour of the Sarah Bowes hot spots.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something you create.
I got to create a little map or something that people can download.
Yes. I would love that. I would love that. So thank you so much, friends. Again, don't forget to like, follow, share, all the things, comment, tell us what you liked about our podcast. If you are on the TikToks or any other ones, follow Sarah, and we will see you again next week. Have a good one. Bye.